Some of my expectations of Q going into this meet, I always think she's going to perform well. She's always shown that she can perform under pressure. The biggest thing was her physical condition of her shoulder. She had injured her shoulder earlier in the year, maybe a couple months before, and it was always kind of a matter of like, is it going to hurt? If it hurts, I don't want to get her hurt. I don't want her to be in worse shape. So, we kind of just played it by ear, and I told her that before going in. Mainly what I want to see is that she was able to execute the lifts in the warm-up fine, and then from there we just kind of go. The plan was always to take one shot at the American record. If we had a chance, we'd definitely go for it. And obviously it worked out really well. She was looking great in the warm-ups, and it turned out perfectly. One thing that makes Q so good at snatching is obviously her athleticism. She trains hard, all those things, but also the way she's built. She has a fantastic ability. When she gets the bar to her hips, it's almost high enough for her to actually catch it in the bottom of the overhead squat. This situation allows her, one, to have an easier time getting under the bar. Even if she pulls a heavy weight, she can still get under it because the bar is almost always going to be in the right or to the right height. And then two is that she has a very strong pull, and so she's able to pull the bar up to a certain point, with pretty huge weights for someone who's clean jerking what she is. And so she has this kind of advantage of being great, having great positions, being very, very athletic, and then on top of all that, being really a great athlete and having those sort of intangible things where, the bar might be a little forward and the lift is not perfect, or some weird things might happen. For example, in this lift, because of the shoulder injury, both of her hands were moving. So when she would go to turn the weight over, they would kind of move in, and her athleticism, that intangible quality of her ability to just kind of tolerate and roll with the punches and deal with the situation, allowed her to save a lift that was really going to be, a little bit forward, and maybe some other people that couldn't react as fast or didn't have that presence of mind to sort of adjust wouldn't make the lift. And she's kind of showed that quality before in other snatches, at the American Open series. She had the 106, which was a little bit worse technically than the 108. It was a little more forward. She just caught it out front. But just has a great ability to fight and to save the lift. I think that goes a lot more to the intangible side of her being, just a good athlete and having her mind in the right place on the platform. Was that the most emotion I think I've ever shown? Possibly. I've coached now several, 3-4 times now I've had people break American records, senior American records, probably more than most coaches currently coaching. That lift that Q did was such a big deal to me because of who Q is. I met Q last year. She's probably the only person I've ever walked up to and asked if I could be their coach. I don't think I've ever really done that before. Not that I'm saying other lifters are not deserving of it, right? I didn't want to coach other lifters, but she's one person I really was excited to try and work with, and just the kind of person she is. There's so much backstory behind everybody, but there's a lot of backstory behind Q in terms of being successful, being able to make lifts, being able to train consistently, injuries, and just setbacks that she's really persevered and committed to this whole thing. And seeing that all kind of come together for her in this record was really special to me. So I definitely got pretty excited about it, and I was just, it's always fun, but that one particularly was an emotional one for me.
So when I was going into the American Open, I had actually started to get like really, really weird pain in my right shoulder, going up like so. Even just doing PVC pass-throughs hurt. At one point at camp in Utah, it was just like, obviously all of this is connected, so my wrist started to feel jacked up in addition to my shoulder. So after that 105 snatch that I did, and then again after that 109, I just couldn't even bother clean and jerking just because I didn't want to like mess it up, just because we're so close to American Open. So we've been really careful, or had been really careful up until the meet. Not really doing a lot of clean and jerk, which is what I need. Just mostly working on the clean, which has gotten better. But just being really, really careful not to exacerbate whatever's going on here, which is still somewhat going on, but we're trying to figure out what it is that's causing me to feel that pain in certain positions. So when I started lifting with Max and Juggernaut, the American record was brought up because obviously, like, my snatch isn't bad, and with every meet, like, the snatch, I just got better and better, and we just made that a goal from the beginning. Like, I'm strong enough to hit this number, I have to get this 108. And I figured by AO the next year, which was this year, I could get it, and I wanted to get it. So basically every day, especially the last 2 or 3 weeks before the meet, I was like, Quiana, you gotta get your stuff together. We have to try to hit this 108. Granted, those 2 weeks are some of the worst snatch weeks of my life, and I definitely questioned whether I'd be able to do it. I would have at that point even been excited to hit like 100, 101. That's how bad like my snatches felt. I didn't feel like it was a Quiana snatch. Like, everything was off. I didn't feel comfortable during my setup. My setups were different. It was just weird. But I definitely felt that once I got there, I'd be okay, and that I would just have to go for it. Especially if I made my first 2 lifts, like, I would just have to go for it. Why not? Why would you not go for the American record, especially if you killed your first 2 lifts and you had plenty of gas in the tank? Like, hello.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
So after I had made the lift and gotten the down signal, my immediate reaction was to scream, which I did, and cry, which I did. It was something I wanted so bad. So to think that only after, at this point, like a year and a couple of months, I was able to hit a goal that I set the year before was just mind-boggling. And to basically like I think it was just crazy that just a couple of weeks before, like, I could barely snatch like 100. And to think that I beat the record. I am an American record holder. I think that's what freaked me out and made me cry the most, is because I wasn't really sure like when it was gonna happen or if I was gonna be able to do it. But it was a great feeling. It was like one of the best feelings I've ever had.
With a total of 221 kilograms from Team Juggernaut, Quiana Welch.